Netflix has been on a roll with these new animated shows lately. So is this new animated series inspired by the Tomb Raider video games worth checking out? Let's get started on my review of the first season of Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. Let's go.
I think it's time we blow this thing. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
What's going on, all my Flicksers? This is Jacey from Jacey Flicks, and I just finished watching the first season of Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. Now, before I do get started with my review, please note this will be a spoiler-free review, just in case you haven't seen it yet, currently showing on Netflix. Also, please make sure that you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date on more cartoons I'm reviewing just like this. So this new series of Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft Season 1 stars Haley Atwell, Earl Balin, Alan Maldonado, Richard Armitage, Zoe Boyle, and more. Thrust into a high-stakes chase around the world, fearless adventurer Lara Croft confronts her traumatic past while unraveling an ancient mystery. Since the video game debuted in 1996, the Tomb Raider franchise has undergone several adaptations, from Angelina Jolie to Alicia Vikander's portrayals, and so forth. Man, I remember playing the original game religiously on the original PlayStation, and even playing the amazing reboot on the Xbox One just titled Tomb Raider back in 2013. However, over the years, it hasn't received a full-fledged TV adaptation until this one, which is titled Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft. This new animated series, developed by Tasha Huo, serves as a sequel to the reboot game trilogy, which is the one I just mentioned. The story kicks off with Lara Croft returning home after a tragic adventure leads to the death of a loved one. Attempting to move on, Lara plans to leave her past behind and clean out Croft Manor. You know, the huge mansion that I would often get lost in the original game? Yeah, that one. However, her plan is derailed when a cunning thief steals an ancient Chinese artifact, sending Lara on a global quest to retrieve it, aka raid tombs. One of the challenges of the Tomb Raider series and treasure hunting adventures in general is that the central character sometimes gets overshadowed by the lore and grandiose of the story. Sadly, this one is no different and falls into some of these narrative flaws. Previous adaptations have struggled with this. Jolie's films emphasize style over substance, while Vikander's reboot shifted focus to Lara's search for her father, but didn't fully explore her character. This animated series addresses this issue by focusing on how the adventure emotionally impacts Lara, making her more relatable as she struggles with her past and grows into her role as an explorer, but sadly, that's about as far as it goes. The show remains grounded in Lara's personal growth, a continuation of her character arc from the reboot games, where she evolves into a skilled but error-prone adventurer. Now, a key element of the plot is the connection between Lara and the villain Charles Devereaux, voiced by Richard Armitage. Devereaux is depicted as a dark mirror to Lara, both driven by loss, but with Lara having learned the dangers of revenge. This parallel deepens the narrative, adding emotional weight to their conflict and giving Lara's character room to develop further, which I did appreciate as I was watching this. Despite these strengths, the plot, though, becomes predictable as it progresses, with familiar tropes and an overly safe approach that prevents it from breaking new ground in the franchise. Now, when it comes to the animation, The Legend of Lara Croft benefits greatly. With Powerhouse Animation taking the helm, the studio is known for its work on another fellow animated series that's on Netflix called Castlevania. Their signature style enhances the series, especially in the action scenes, which are dynamic and pretty intense. Whether it's car chases or battles with supernatural creatures, the animation is fluid and exciting, capturing the visceral energy of the video games. Powerhouse also excels at creating visually stunning environments. I mean, it's just gorgeous to say the least, which is why I was hyped to see this series. And then as I started watching it, I start to notice some of these things. The tombs and landscapes Lara visits are beautifully designed, with vibrant colors and intricate details that feel faithful to the source material. One of the standout aspects of the animation is how it handles the supernatural elements. Each time the powerful relics are activated, the show shifts to a different hand-drawn style to exemplify more ancient artwork. This choice not only complements the cultural aspects of the story, but also adds a unique visual layer to the show, making the mystical moments feel distinct and immersive. As far as the voice acting, I think this is also a standout for the series, but it didn't keep me too interested. Let me explain why. Haley Atwell voices Lara Croft in this adaptation, bringing a nuanced performance that conveys both Laura's strength and vulnerability. I enjoyed her interpretation for the most part. Atwell captures the emotional complexity of the character, particularly in moments where Lara reflects on her past mistakes. Richard Armitage's portrayal of Charles Devereaux is equally compelling, with a performance that gives the villain depth and relatability. The dynamic between Atwell and Armitage's characters adds tension to the story, and their vocal performances effectively bring out the emotional stakes of their conflict. That was probably my favorite aspect of this season, along with the animation. Despite those strong performances from the lead actors, some of the supporting characters feel underdeveloped, and the voice actors aren't given enough material to fully showcase what else they could offer. This limits the emotional impact of certain moments, particularly when it comes to the relationships between Lara and her friends. I felt like the more I watched her friends and supporting cast throughout, the more I wanted to see how they came to be. I mean, I thought it should have been shown a little bit more, seeing as they tend to save her more than a couple of times. With all that being said, you guys, I'm gonna give Tomb Raider The Legend of Lara Croft 3 flames out of 5 and a mid or a fair show rating.
Okay.
Tomb Raider The Legend of Lara Croft is a visually stunning and emotional adaptation that expands on Lara Croft's character. However, while it excels in animation and some of the voice acting, the story remains somewhat predictable, playing it safe with familiar plot elements. The story just seems dull at times, and the side characters are often one-dimensional with not much development or growth to offer the series. So usually I give you guys my episode recommendations at this point of the video, but since I feel like this show is just okay and kind of mid, I recommend you watching something else on Netflix a little more entertaining with much more substance and story to it, like Blue Eye Samurai or Cyberpunk Edge Runners. And it's kind of sad to say, because I was looking forward to this as soon as I saw the trailer, and I even had people sending it to me saying you should review this when it comes out. The animation looked great, and it does for the most part, but it was kind of a letdown with this series. I mean, it was pretty lukewarm, if I will say. All right, guys, so have you seen the first season of Tomb Raider The Legend of Lara Croft on Netflix yet? If you have, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Also, which Tomb Raider video game is your favorite? Mine is either the first OG one for the PS1 or Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a part of the reboot trilogy. The last thing before I do go, you guys, please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up to date. My name's Jacey from Jacey Flicks, and until next time, I'm out.